All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Tomorrow is the last day of 2014. I cannot believe that we are getting ready to start the new year. Do you know how to switch that so that way when we're recording? We're going to play around with something real quick before we completely get started. Sorry about that. We want to make sure that when we have the recording that everyone can see. Is it not going to work tonight? It may not work tonight, so we may just go ahead and get started while she's playing around with it. Anyway, we're getting ready to go into 2015, and those of you who've been with Plexus for a couple of years now almost, or even last year, you know that going into 2015 or going into the new year is always a really super exciting time because we always have a bit of an ebb and a flow in our business. It's very typical for us to have busy times of the year, and it's very typical for us to have slower times of the year in the business. And typically December is actually one of those very slow months because everyone is very focused on family and Christmas and shopping and just, you know, and that's what the beauty of network marketing is that we have the opportunity to really spend it with our family when we need to and not work as hard certain times of the year. However, true professionals in the business are always going to be working their business in some fashion, even during those slow times. That being said, people are going to be more receptive to what we have to share with them starting January 1st and going through about June. You can typically expect some things to slow down in the summertime because people are more focused on vacations and things like that, and then it picks back up again in the fall. So that being said, January 1st is one of the most exciting times in Plexus because obviously people are making new resolutions. They're ready to get healthy. They're wanting to lose weight. They're wanting to make a little bit more money. They need to pay off their Christmas credit cards. They need to get ready for tax season. And they're thinking, oh my goodness, I need to put a little bit more money in my budget. So right now is the perfect time for us to really get excited about what we have to offer people.
You know, as you all know, the top resolutions that people have, weight loss typically is the number one resolution. Just to name a few of them, you know, usually people want to get organized, help others. We can help others, right? And learn something new. Well, if they join our business or even if they become customers, they're going to learn something new, right? So there's two we can help people with. Get out of debt. Oh, even if it's an extra $300 to $500 a month, we can help people with that, right? So there's three. More family time. Well, isn't that what network marketing does mainly? It gives you the option to have that more family time. So there's another. Enjoy life more. Well, most people, when they say they want to enjoy life more, they want to travel places they've never been. Well, join a network marketing company. So there's five we can help people with. Oh, quit drinking. We can't really help them with that. Lose weight. That's number one. Quit smoking. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've heard before people tell me that Plexus has made them stop smoking as much. Exercise. Oh, wait. You mean you can take Plexus and it will make you want to exercise? Yes, you can. So look at it. Looking at the top 10 resolutions, there's so many in there that we can help people with. So tonight what we want to do is make sure that you guys know how to get your goals. Sorry, it's driving me nuts.
Sorry, I would like to have where we can see it. Go ahead.
Tonight what we want to make sure that you guys can do is to get your goals lined out for 2015 before 2015 actually gets here. And we only have just a few more days to do that. So Renee is going to start us out and I'm going to give you some meat and potato. Renee's going to give you some potatoes, and I'm going to give you some meat. And then Renee's going to give you some macaroni and cheese.
Okay. All those bad things you shouldn't be eating starting January 1st. Anyway, we're going to start out with affirmations. And if some of you that are on, well, actually, I think even, we all talk about affirmations and how important affirmations are. But I've specifically given some of the people on my team an assignment to write out their affirmations. If you don't know what an affirmation is, then to be honest, I had heard that word before, but I didn't really know exactly what it meant prior to reading some books and spending a little bit of time learning about it. An affirmation is essentially speaking positive things into existence into your life. And it's the power of positive thinking. And I know myself, I can struggle with being a negative thinker sometimes.
We all can.
And the thing is that if you focus on negative, then more negative things will happen. So have you ever woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you have went through your day and it seems like you got up in a bad mood and then everything for the rest of the day just really set you off? I mean, nothing went right. You got up on the wrong side of the bed, your husband ticked you off, you walked out the door, and then your boss ticked you off, your coworkers were driving you crazy, and then just nothing went right. Well, we actually have the power to change that. And we've always said if you change your attitude, you can change your day. And that is so true. So affirmations is something that can help you with that. And this is something that I've challenged my team to do, is to write out 5 affirmations and post them in 5 different places that you'll see them every day. And then spend time every day, 2 or 3 times a day, to say them out loud, to speak them out loud. So what I did is I wrote out my affirmations and I put some on my bathroom mirror. I have a set that's right at the back door as I walk out the door every day. I have this set right here that sits on my desk so I can look at it every day. I have another set that's by my door to my office, so that way when I walk in and out of my office in my house, I see it. And then I put a set on the dash of my car, so when I'm driving down the road, I can see it. So here's some examples. These are some of my affirmations. I am more than good enough, and I get better every day. I know that I struggle with comparing myself to others, so I'm telling myself every day, I am more than good enough, and I'm getting better every day. The past has no power over me anymore. So I am not allowing myself to wallow in the things that may have happened in the past, the things that I didn't feel like I was good enough in. Saying that past, I'm not going to allow that to have power over me anymore. I compare myself only to my highest self. I compare myself only to my highest self, meaning I'm not going to compare myself to others. I'm only going to compare myself to the best version of myself. So that way, every day, if I'm not up to par with the best version of myself, then I know I need to do a little bit more to get better, because I am better. I've done better before. I make smart and calculated plans for my future. I'm telling myself I'm making smart and calculated plans. So instead of making quick snap plans that feel good in the moment, I'm consciously making that effort every day to know that I'm going to make smart choices, and I'm not going to make choices in the moment. And I believe in my ability to change the world with the work that I do. I hope that that's an affirmation that each of you will write down, because with Plexus, we have the ability to change the world with what we do. Our work is something that can really, really change people's lives. So you all can spend a little bit of time doing that this week. Going into the new year, I hope that you realize how important it is that you're speaking positive things into your life. Okay, so now I'm going to go to another thing that's really important that you can do. And if you look behind me, you can see that this says Renea's vision board. And this is a cork board that I have, and I've went online and I've printed out pictures.
Up in front of us real quick so that they can get a good look.
I've printed out pictures online of some different things that I would like to see in my life someday. You can see here I have some diamonds, which means I would love to be a diamond ambassador. I'm going to be a diamond ambassador. I have sapphire here because that's my next goal in Plexus. But on top of that, I have some things that I would just like to see happen in my life. I have a college fund right here because I would love to have college funds for all 4 of my girls set up. A beach condo. It's my dream to own a beach condo someday. Here I have the Plexus Lexus convertible with red interior because when I become a Diamond Ambassador, that's the car I'm going to get. I have some quotes that I enjoy. I have visit Plexus headquarters. That's always been a dream that I would like to go and visit the headquarters. Publish a book, Fiji vacation, a Yukon Denali XL. You know, these are tangible items that I would like to see happen in my life. I put them on my vision board so that way I can look at it every day, and it's just a reminder of why I'm working toward these goals. Some things that, you know, also are funds that you'd like to donate to, St. Jude's, church, you know, whatever it is that you like to donate your money to, those are things that you would want to put on your vision board as well. So I challenge each of you this week, if you have not already done so, to make a vision board and post it somewhere where you can see it every day.
Your vision board, it doesn't have to be a cork board where you've printed stuff out. You can actually, there's several apps that you can go to on your phone, on your computer. On your computer, you can go to pickmonkey.com, and it has where you can choose like different layouts, and you can put as many things on there as you want. Then on your phone, you can use, what is the app? Pick Collage. Pick Collage on your phone, and I highly suggest your main goal in Plexus, whether it's, okay, so for example, can I borrow your phone? Yep. Renee, there we go. Okay, so her background on her phone is actually Disney World. And the reason why is because she wants to take her whole family back to Disney World this upcoming year, 2015. However, she set her goal that she's not going to just take them just to take them. It's going to be, she's going to take them once she hits Sapphire. So there's 2 goals in one. And so what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is a system that you can use to set your goals, because we need to have this big dream, this big picture, okay? But to get to that big picture, we get discouraged if we just start working towards that big picture and then it takes us forever to get there. So we have to break it down into many achievable goals. And the best way to set goals and be able to stick with them is to use a system called the SMART system. So the SMART system stands for, let me just hit screen share. We're going to pull this up in front of you guys so you can see too. Okay, so the SMART system stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timeline. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timeline. And these all flow together in the way, so let's start with specific. The more specific your goal, the more likely you will be able to obtain it. So, for instance, my big picture, my big goal for 2015 is to achieve diamond. But I can't just say, oh, I'm going to achieve diamond and then, you know, just go out and just start working. I have to have little goals that are going to get me to diamond. So, and I'll share my big goal with this in like a full thing at the end here. But so like, let's say I want to achieve my goal of diamond, I want to sponsor 3 people every month. So I want to go silver every month. Or I want to at least attain 3 new customers every month. Okay. So specific with your goal. Because the more specific, the more likely you are to obtain it. Measurable. You have to be able to measure your goal regularly. So, for example, if you were to say in 2015, I want to earn more money, that's not measurable, because that could be anything. That could be any amount. I mean, it could be 50 cents or a quarter. But if you say in 2015, I want to make $500 extra a month, that's measurable. You can keep track with whether or not you're making $500 extra a month, right? So that's what we mean by measurable. Now, attainable. If you set a goal that is impossible to obtain, then you're setting yourself up for failure. So if I was to say, set my specific goal as I'm going to be diamond with plexus, that is unrealistic in a way, because I haven't set little goals to reach that, okay? So I have to make sure that I set little attainable goals to get there. And also, when I say attainable, I have to be able to break down how I'm going to get there. Specifically say, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and that's what's going to help me earn that goal. So you need to be realistic and plan out steps, but make each step compelling enough that it makes you want to get them done, okay? Then the R, realistic. Attainable and realistic, they really go hand in hand, because you need to be able to ask yourself when you write down your attainable, what you say for attainable, okay? You need to be able to ask yourself 3 questions when you set your goal. And these 3 questions are very important. Number 1, am I willing to make sacrifices? Number 2, do I have enough time to spend each week to make it a success? And number 3, do I have the passion and perseverance to do what it takes to accomplish this? Now, in my opinion, number 3 is the most important out of those, because if you don't have the passion and the perseverance, you're not going to get there. You're going to fail quickly because you're going to give up. So make sure that out of this big picture here, you've got passion driven in it. Now, if you answer no to any of those questions, then you need to take a step back and modify your little goal so that it is obtainable and realistic. And then the 5th one there, timeline. You have to create a sense of urgency with your little goals so that you eventually get to that big goal, okay? And by setting a time frame to complete your goals, think of it like a deadline. A deadline creates pressure, and it creates that sense of urgency that you need. Also, if in your timeline, if you make a consequence for yourself, then it's going to create that even more sense of urgency. So if you were to say, if you have your first little goal set for the end of January 2015, and you don't reach that goal, then you could say, well, here's my goal, here's my steps I'm going to take to obtain it. If I don't reach that goal by January 31st, 2015, I'm going to donate $5 to such and such. Or, whatever it may be. Just, are we losing it? Oh. Yes, Dana, I will repeat those 3 for attainable in just a second. So you want to set the consequence for yourself, because it puts pressure on you to try to reach your goals. It also keeps it compelling, because it helps you get over those hurdles that you're going to reach. Because in network marketing, it's not like this, okay? It's more like it's this, then this, then this, then this, then this. I mean, that's with anything in life, okay? So you need something that's going to get you over those hurdles. And if you have that consequence for yourself for not reaching your goals, it's going to make you work harder towards your goals. The 3 questions, again, that you need to ask yourself for if it's attainable or not is, number 1, am I willing to make a sacrifice? Am I willing to make a sacrifice? Number 2, do I have enough time to spend each week to make it a success? So do I have time to make it successful? And number 3, do I have passion and perseverance to do what it takes to accomplish this? Okay, so to break this down for you guys so that you can see hand in hand how this would work, so that whenever you write out your goals, I took the liberty, I wrote out my goal. So for my S, for specific, My specific is I will go silver each month or add a total of 3 new customers each month in 2015 in order to attain the rank of diamond. That's my specific. My measurable is I will need to make 30 new contacts each month to attain my goal. My attainable is your attainable is basically what you're going to do to make sure that you're going to reach that goal. So my attainable is I will post about my opportunity on social media at least twice per day. I will make a point to socialize each day with someone not in my circle. I will go to 2 businesses per week and hold mini presentations and give out product samples. I also will work on contacting my individuals on my list of follow-ups that were maybe laters. So that's my attainable. Now, for my realistic, which is basically making sure that what I've said for my attainable is, that they're going to go hand in hand together. My realistic is posting on social media, socializing with new people, holding presentations, and contacting my maybe laters will allow me to tell people about my products and opportunity in which I am very passionate about because it gives me the opportunity to change people's lives. So that's how I know that it's realistic, okay? And then my timeline. I will have either 3 new ambassadors or 3 new customers by January 31st, 2015. So there's my first little mini, okay? Now, ultimately, by December 31st, 2015, I will have a combination of 36 new ambassadors or customers and will be a diamond ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. So I'm saying my little mini goal is the 3 per month, okay? But ultimately, even if I didn't do 3 per month, if I just had a total of 36 by the end of the year, next year, I have reached my ultimate goal. And if I'm sponsoring that many new people and I'm duplicating, then I should be a diamond ambassador of Plexus Worldwide. Hope that makes sense to you all. You done? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So since Lynsey kind of covered how to be more specific on setting your goals, I thought it would be fun to do this exercise. It's something that Big Al, who is an amazing speaker, he's professional network marketing, and he's also an author of many books. He spoke at the Network Mastermind event in October that I attended in Orlando, and he had us do this exercise. And I thought, what better time of year than to do this than at the first of the year or right as we're setting our New Year's resolutions. So like Lynsey said, we have these big ultimate goals, but sometimes we lose track of those, or we have a wish but not a plan. And so she's helped you figure out how to do the plan. Well, tonight we're going to do a little exercise, and we're going to dream really big. So I want you to get that paper and pen out that I asked you guys to have for tonight so we can do this exercise. It's going to take about 3 minutes.
I have mine, and I'm going to do it with you guys.
I'm going to do it too. I did this in Orlando, but I'm going to do it all over again tonight. I'm going to set the timer on my cell phone for 3 minutes. And what I want you to do is, when I say go, I want you to write down everything that you've ever wanted out of life. Okay, so for this exercise, you only have 3 minutes. So the only thing that you need to worry about is your speed. So just write down as quickly as you can. Your goal is to have at least 25, so maybe in between 25 and 50 different items or things that you can think of. So I'm going to give you some examples. There may be a car that you desire, a perfect home that you would love to call your own, perhaps some new friends, how much money that you'd like to have in the bank, an amount of time that you would like to have free so you can share it with your family, your contribution to society, to church, to a foundation, the size of your organization, how many new business builders that will be joining your business this year, things like that. These are things that you should be thinking about, and you're going to have your own set of 25. But just think about that quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and set my timer real quick for 3 minutes, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so ready, set, go. Okay.
You're not cheating off my list, are you?
I haven't even looked at your list. You still have 2 minutes left. Minute and a half.
No pressure, guys. One minute.
$25 seconds. I'm cheating. All right. It has been 3 minutes, so you all can stop writing now. If you're like me, I did not get to 25. I got to 15.
So did I, because I'm fixing to write down my 15.
But the point of this exercise is for you to really think about some of the things that you really, really would like to have out of life. And now I want you to just kind of take a look at your list and just take a few seconds. This should only take maybe 15 or 20 seconds to kind of go through and pick your top 10. So if you're like me and you only have 15, it's probably going to be pretty easy to pick your top 10. But circle your top 10, the top 10 things that you would like to see happen in your life. And then after this training is over and before you go to bed, I want you to get out another sheet of paper and be specific in writing out some of your goals. So these top 10 things that are on your list, they're essentially goals that you have in your life. And I want you to write some specific things in the present tense, kind of like those affirmations that we talked about. So I'm going to give you an example. If your goal is to become an Emerald Ambassador and get a Lexus, okay? Well, we know that you want a Lexus. You would write something like this. I drive. She was getting on to me earlier for that being distracting.
Sorry.
I drive a Lexus GS 350 F Sport. My car is Starfire Pearl with gray leather interior and is equipped with every dealer option available. Do you see how specific I was on that? And I'm speaking it into the present tense. So your mind doesn't really know fact from fiction. So when you're telling yourself these things, your mind is believing it. And the more that you tell yourself these things, the more likely that you're going to work toward those goals and see that happen in your life. So that's just an example. I drive a Lexus GS 350 F Sport. My car is Starfire Pearl with gray leather interior and is equipped with every dealer option available. Keep in mind, if you're not specific, then just pretend that someone is going to fill in the blanks for you. And so if you don't want to drive a Starfire Pearl Lexus, so let's say somebody says you want to drive a brown one, you better put the color on there because you want to envision yourself driving the color that you want with the interior that you want and things like that. So complete this exercise with all 10 of your top goals that you've selected. And this is when it gets really fun because we're not going to stop there. This week, your goal is to go out and really start visualizing and realizing the things that you want to happen in your life. So we've all heard the sayings, we become what we think about. Visualizing is realizing. It goes on and on. And that's because nothing is stronger than a dream. And that dream is going to pull you into your future. So this week I challenge you to get your camera, and we all have our cameras on our phones. So you're going to take your phone and you may drive around your neighborhood and you may have the dream house in your town that you've always wanted. That you said, if I had all the money in the world and I could buy that house, that's the house I would buy. Well, go find it, take a picture of it. You can get creative and somehow do some maybe clip art and put yourself into the picture later on, and then send it to Walgreens or Walmart and have it developed into a picture that you can put in a frame and look at every day. You could simply do a selfie of yourself in front of the house. That would be an easy way of doing it. If there's a car that you want, go to the dealership, sit in it, touch it, get your picture in it, and then plaster those pictures in different places in your house. You would be surprised if you had been in my house this past year, some of the things that you would find on the walls or on my desk or in my car, some of the pictures that I would visualize. And I did this before I hit Emerald. I visualized being in that Lexus. I went to the dealership and I sat in it and I touched it and I picked out which one I would want. I test drove it. And I really believe that by doing that, my mind believed I was going to get there. And that helped me get there.
I want to say real quick, whenever we first started in Plexus, almost 2 years ago, I thought Sonia and Helen were both crazy, and Sheila even. They came here to Sykeston. They did a little training with us, and they said, we want you to go to your nearest Lexus dealership, schedule an appointment to test drive the 3 Emerald Lexuses. Get your pictures with the one that you want. And I thought, are y'all crazy? I'm not going to get that Lexus. What are you talking about? But I didn't ever get up there to do that. However, I did drive by several times, and I, would just kind of say, oh, this is the one I want. This is the one I want. And I think that really helped my mindset. But what really did it, I believe, was Sonia had come to town to do a training actually on my birthday. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And she drove up from Tennessee in her Lexus, and we all took pictures, standing in front of the Lexus like it was ours and sitting in the driver's seat of the Lexus like it was ours. And it makes a big difference. So if you are close to me, or you're close to Renee, or you're close to another Emerald or an above leader, and you can't get to St. Louis or Memphis or wherever your closest Lexus dealership is, by all means, if Emerald is in your mind, if that is what your ultimate goal is with Emerald or above, okay, if that's what your ultimate goal is with Plexus, call me, call Renee, and we will let you take pictures of yourself in our vehicles. That way you have that in your frame, okay, because that's the big thing with it's branding. At first I didn't think I wanted to get my Lexus. My dream vehicle was always a Yukon Denali. So first thing I made sure that I bought was my Yukon Denali. Then it was like, everybody kept saying, when are you going to get your Lexus? When are you going to get your Lexus? And finally I was like, I guess I do need to get my Lexus, because that's what people associate with once you hit those higher ranks, is the fact that you've earned that Lexus. So, that is like a big part of reaching those higher goals. So make sure, if you don't do anything else, that you get your picture of the Lexus, even if it's you have to take a picture off the computer and screenshot yourself in there. But do it. Whatever your dream one is, do it.
I'm just picturing you guys having some of the most fun pictures of like a car with you like hanging out of it, because it's not really the picture, you're not really in the car if you do it that way. You can kind of crop a picture and stick it on there, and it can be so fun, and it can be funny, and it can be something that sticks out in your mind. But it doesn't have to be the Lexus. It can be whatever your dreams are, to just make sure that it's personal for you. And but anyway, I want you to invest 15 minutes a day in front of that picture, or the wall of pictures, or your vision board, and just just really soak that in and think about your goals every day, and read your affirmations out loud to yourself. So focus on what you desire, and then discover and rediscover your dream. Allow them to entice you, and mentally move forward with each passing day. We're getting ready to wrap up, and we're going to end with a quote tonight.
Okay, so we want to leave you with a Les Brown quote. He is a phenomenal network marketing leader. And Renee actually sent me this message the other night, and it just really, I said, we have to leave our folks with that. So keep the faith. Even when you think that things can't get any worse, and they do, keep the faith. When bills are piling up, collectors are blowing your phone up, you do not have a clue about how you're going to get out of the situation, keep the faith. Because at any moment, your life could change for the better. Continue to believe in miracles. Continue to stand your ground and work as hard as you can with everything you can. Hold the vision of what you want.
She lost her place.
Say to yourself, no matter how bad it gets, I am going to make it. You have greatness within you. Les Brown.
You can do anything that you set your mind to. There are people out there doing what you want, or are getting the dreams that you would like to achieve, that are in the same circumstances as you are. And so get out of your own way this year. And I say that because that's what I tell myself every day, is to get out of my own way. The only thing that holds us back is ourselves. So let's grab 2015 by the reins and just hang on tight, and let's go and have the most amazing year ever. So that's it for tonight. We will go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you guys so much for calling in.
Thank you guys.